You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us here at CBT News. Joining us now is Aaron Zeigler, president of Zeigler Automotive Group. Thank you so much, Aaron, for taking the time out of your busy schedule there. And it looks like it has been a busy schedule with the opening of a couple of Subaru stores. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to buy two new Subaru stores, one in Lafayette, Indiana, one in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then we opened up a brand new facility that we just built in Maryville, Indiana. Had the grand opening for last week.
That's fantastic. And Subaru is such an incredibly strong brand, right?
It sure is. They've done a terrific job. Over the last decade or so, they've almost quadrupled their sales, and they've got about the same dealer count that they had 10, 12 years ago. So it's a great proposition for dealers.
That's fantastic. And those customers obviously are so incredibly loyal to that brand. It's almost like you just can't pull them away no matter what your offering is.
Yeah, we joke it's almost like a cult, but it's great. They are extremely loyal. They love the brand. They're very passionate about the brand, and Subaru's done a terrific job from a marketing standpoint of really connecting with their customers.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You have to be a dog lover in order to drive a Subaru, evidently, or some sort of a pet. But they've done a
fact.
They've done a great.
We had our first grand opening that was dog friendly. So about half our customers bought dogs. We've got a big dog park with an agility center in Maryville, and the customers absolutely love it.
Wow, that is genius. What a good idea. Oh my God, that's fantastic. All right, so let's talk. Here we are in the middle of the second quarter of 2024. How is business today at Zeigler Automotive?
I think it's changed dramatically in the last year. So you got a little bit of headwinds with higher interest rates right now, but on the tailwind side of things, you've got a lot of pent-up demand. So our sales are up year over year, and I think that's because the pent-up demand is stronger than what the interest rates are right now.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting that the sales are up year over year, because obviously last year was a good year in the industry. And does that seem to be carrying through? Are you forecasting a stronger year unit-wise than last year?
Yeah, and I think also inventory helps a little bit with that as well, that for the most part, most brands were starting to get back to pre-COVID levels from a inventory standpoint. You couple that with there's about 12 million units that should have got sold during COVID that didn't because we didn't have the product. And those customers have to buy at some point. So we're seeing them come back into the market right now. Right.
And also we're also seeing a resurgence of leasing. Obviously leasing during COVID years was pretty low, but that seems to be coming back strong. We're seeing the OEMs jump in with aggressive lease payments as well, right? Are you seeing that where you are?
Yeah, we certainly are. We're in big lease markets in the Midwest, and about 90% of our customers buy a car based on a monthly payment, and leasing is certainly a great way to get a lower payment on a vehicle, and that's helping to drive traffic as well.
Yeah, for sure. Which affordability is a topic that we talk a lot about here at CBT News with dealers and OEM executives and such, but that's a real concern. Is it not? We're talking about almost $50,000 for the price of a new car. Where is this headed, and what are we going to do about it?
Yeah, inflation's in everything that we see right now. It doesn't matter if you're building dealerships or building cars or whatever out there. It's just it's been aggressive the last few years. The offset to that is that incomes are up right now, and there seems to be a lot of money still in the economy out there, and I think that's what's holding things in better than what they would be if we didn't have those factors going in our favor. Sure.
One of the factors with the affordability issue that doesn't help in any way is the situation with EVs. They're on average about $10,000 more, as you know, than a ICE vehicle. However, it seems as though it's not just the element that's holding consumers back. It's also the lack of infrastructure, charging stations and such. What's your take on EVs? Is it just one of these things where the OEMs have got to pump the brakes?
Yeah, and I think they are, because inventory is really stacking up on EVs. They're moving substantially slower than what the ICE engines are. And I think there was some overzealous in the market out there, and the government has really been hammering these manufacturers and putting a lot of rules and regulations and penalties on them if they don't do this. And it's just not quite ready for prime time right now. but we're seeing some really good success on the hybrid side of things, and it's kind of the best of both worlds when you get into a hybrid, because then you don't have all the limitations that you do with the EVs. And I think the kind of the shininess is maybe worn off the EVs. It's kind of that cool new toy that everybody had out there for a while, and then after a while, kind of reality sets in a little bit, and you're seeing that, boy, there's a lot of constrictions on that. And number one at the top of that list would certainly be affordability.
Yeah, no question about it. However, that being said, now with the price of gas, I mean, we're here in Atlanta. Gas is $3.50 a gallon. I don't know what it is in your area, but it's just, I don't know, this gas situation. One day it's $2.99 and the next day it's $3.50. It's crazy. But I would imagine there are some people thinking, maybe EVs are not such a bad idea after all, right?
Although you got electric prices going up right now as well right. too, so it costs a lot more to charge your EV. So yeah, who knows where gas prices are going? But they are very elastic right now. They are up and down.
That's right.
No question about it.
Yeah, no question. In terms of used cars, we saw a pretty strong March in terms of used cars. It seems to have carried through into April. How is your used car business doing?
Used car business is good. Prices are still high on the wholesale side of things, so there's a little bit of compression from a margin. So during COVID, cars appreciated. We'd never seen that before.
Right.
So you didn't have to turn your inventory like we always did before. Now it's back to normal, and maybe some accelerated depreciation out there. So we've got to turn our inventory really fast. So we're turning at 40, 45 days right now on the used side of things to kind of fend off the accelerated depreciation.
Yeah, for sure. Are you buying cars off the road and such from?
We are, yeah. I mean, every source that you can get, probably your toughest source or your highest cost source is going to be the auction. And during COVID, we didn't have the opportunity with people trading in vehicles. So we have those 12 million new cars that didn't get sold. Now those 12 million new cars don't turn into 12 million used cars that we have out there as well. So, but we're starting to see more trade-ins going up, and we're going to fight a little bit with less leases coming back because they didn't have the leases during COVID as well. So, the used car market for the next couple of years may be a little wanky out there.
Sure. Do you notice any difference in your business during a presidential election year? Has that got much of an impact in your business?
Not really. We kind of stay out of the whole political world because it's out of our control. So we only focus on the things that we can control.
It's good policy. Very good policy. Hey, today the president announced that 100% tariffs on China made EVs coming into the U.S. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so the Chinese were basically selling vehicles at a substantial loss to try to flood the market out there and to corner the world on EVs. So that could, it was a good move because otherwise something like that could kill the auto industry in the United States. And, I think it's something like 1 out of 5 jobs are somehow affected to the auto industry in the United States. So it's extremely important to our country. And I think that was a no-brainer of a move.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess politically it shows as though he's tough on, China, right? So it's a good political move as well. So, let me ask you this before I let you go, and I appreciate all the time you've given us, but what are some of the things that keep you up at night as the president of Zeigler Auto Group? I mean, you've got so many dealerships in different markets, and how many employees are you up to now? Well over 1,000, right?
So, we got 2,700.
2,700 employees. What are some of those things that you say, we've got to watch out for this, and in the future?
There's a lot of uncertainty, kind of going back to this next election where it's going to go one way or the other. There's no middle ground anymore. It's extreme to the right or extreme to the left.
Yep.
And the rules in the auto industry are going to dramatically change based on what regime is in power. And it's really hard to gauge right now how much you invest on things like EVs and how much you don't. And we've seen the manufacturers some of them go all in, some of them are out, some of them are paying the penalties.
Yeah.
The penalties may go away. So until we get through November, we don't really have a long-term direction on where the industry is going and where you want to invest your money. So probably that uncertainty, but once you have the rules and you know what's going to happen going forward, then you can make great business decisions. Yeah. But until we get through there, it's kind of a wait and see.
Sure, sure. Will we see any more acquisitions this year coming from Zeigler?
Yeah, you know, we're always kind of in acquisition mode. We did 6 acquisitions last year, and in addition to 2 Subaru stores, we bought a Kia store, a Nissan, a GMC, and a Hyundai dealership in Michigan. So you know, we're always kind of looking at opportunities where they make sense. We're going to continue to grow. We obviously believe in the long-term dealer model and the validity of the industry, and want to continue to create opportunities for guys coming up in our organization to be able to run stores and move up. And that's been our way to be able to do that, is to continue to grow.
That's great. That's great. Aaron Zeigler, president of Zeigler Auto Group, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And for all of you watching, you can always access all of our content now on Roku TV and Apple TV. So Aaron, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.